what's up? I'm EmEz, and while I'm based in New York City at Power 105.1, I'm a Jersey kid through and through. I mean, Jersey's the place where I found the inspiration for my career. Growing up in a West Indian household, hip-hop wasn't the first music I was introduced to. But when I did find hip-hop, it was life-changing. It changed my world. It changed my dress, it changed my walk, it changed my talk, it changed everything. I never really wanted to be a rapper or a singer, but I could talk to anyone about anything for as long as they wanted. So interviewing was gonna be my passion. I love music, the harmony, the beats, the lyrics, how it made you feel, and all of that just added to my love of the culture. And being introduced to radio personalities like Ed Lover and Angie Martinez further solidified that being on the radio as a radio personality was something that I needed to be. My impact would be the interviews I leave behind, finding excellence in artists before the masses could find it. My vision, my ear, and my helping hand will precede me, and I'm cool with that. And that's how I team up for excellence.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. We here. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sit Down Live on YouTube. To this evening, we will be talking to Michael LaVan. He's an entrepreneur, real estate agent, author. And we're going to talk to him tonight. We're going to see if he's got any advice for us on the real estate and financial situation. Oh, I see my guy in there. What's going on? Can we get him in?
Peace, man. How you doing?
Welcome.
Hold on. I'm going to switch rooms because it's bright here. Hold
on. I can't hear you.
Hold on.
Hello?
You can hear me?
You're breaking up.
All right, hold on.
Get situated somewhere. Let's see if we can get this right.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
There you go.
You can hear me now?
Raise your volume and tell him to turn his camera. Turn your camera. Let me raise my volume. Let me see what's going on over here. People in the back are telling me. My volume's all the way up. Hello?
My volume, I just turned my volume up. That better?
Oh, they can hear. Okay, so they can hear us. All right, there we go. Colin. Thank you, Colin. So should I call you Michael or should I call you Pop?
Pop, man. I feel like when they call me Mike, some kind of trouble or something.
So then Pop it is. So what's going on? How's everything, sir? Happy New Year and all that good stuff. Thank you for coming on.
You too, brother. I appreciate you having me. Really do. I thank you again.
Now, like I was telling people in my IG live, give me some reason why you should be the person I'm listening to tonight. Before we get anything started, give me some of your credits, some reason behind why you are who you are and why I should be listening to you.
All right. So first off, we're gonna speak on the real estate side. Been doing real estate it'll be 5 years this May coming up, and since I've been a realtor, I'm up in Orange County, New York, which is like up by Woodbury Commons and all that. In like the Middletown, Newburgh area. Since I've been in real estate, let me see. I was my regional rookie of the year. Now the region for my company consists of Connecticut, Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. So regional rookie of the year, two times regional top sales agent, and 4 times office top sales agent. So my first 4 years of business, I've sold over 100 houses for buyers and sellers, and I've helped investors flip over 10 to 15 houses.
Wow.
So yeah, man, I try to stay busy with what I do. And, then I'm also an author of a real estate book I wrote called I Got the Keys, which is a step-by-step guide for first-time home buyers. So I'm just trying to stay busy and consistent with the business.
So go ahead. You said you start with real estate. What else? What else comes with the whole encompassing of Pop?
Now, staying on the real estate side of it, so I took my knowledge from real estate, but I wanted to tackle every portion of it. Like I didn't want to just be a real estate agent. That was it. You know what I mean? So then I became an investor. I fix and flip homes as well, and I own some rental properties. I've been doing that for the past 3 years. I got a company called Homes by LV, which is myself, and I got a couple other investors under me who I mentor as far as flipping properties up here. So being a real estate investor, I also then started my own contracting company because I was tired of paying outside people money for things. So I took some contractors, built a team around that, hired them under my company. So now, as a realtor, I can find my own properties. As an investor, I buy these properties, fix and flip them, and as a contractor, I hired my own guys to do the work. So I pretty much eliminated the middleman.
Can I buy a house if I have a lot of student loan debt? It's a question that just popped up.
You can. It all depends with your credit score, your income, how much money you got in the bank. Debt, they want a good debt to income ratio, and that's a part of that's a question for mortgage lenders. I'm not gonna really get too much into it. I don't do mortgages too much, but what I do know is any lender who's gonna pre-approve somebody to buy a house, they go by what they call debt to income ratio. So if you have student loans, debt, but you also make a high income where your income and student loan, your business income and your debt income is high, you can still be able to buy and purchase a home. They don't really care about what you have on there. It's all about, listen, can you afford to make those student loan payments and also to pay your mortgage?
Mm-hmm. Well, what's the biggest hurdle for new home buyers when they're looking for homes, in your opinion?
The biggest hurdle, honestly, is people finding what they want and what they can spend. Because everybody wants, they want the 4-bedroom, master bathroom, finished basement, fenced-in yard, pools, yada, yada, yada. But if they're not approved for that amount of what those houses sell for, it can be kind of discouraging for them. You know what I mean? So, sometimes, for me, I like to convince people to always get the numbers first. Figure out what you're approved for first, so that if a lender tells you, listen, I can get you a loan for $250, right? And then we start looking at houses in that price range. The last thing you want to happen is you're looking at houses online that are $300,000, $400,000, and then you go and fall in love with these houses. Then the lender comes back to you and says, I can only give you $250. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to go backwards. It's hard for somebody, once they got their mindset on something that they like and they want, but they can't afford it, so they got to take something less.
So here's another question: how much money is a good down payment? Okay, that's a good question.
They say you want to have at least $20,000. That'll take care of your down payment, your closing costs, which consists of your taxes, your attorney fees, lender fees, appraisal, inspections, and all that. If you have around $20,000, $30,000, you're in a great position.
Okay, and are you someone that can handle all that, appraisals and things of that nature?
Everything, bro. Everything. So I get people, as far as me being a real estate agent, then I'll get him a lender who deals with all that as far as the mortgages and the appraisals. I get him a home inspector. I get him an attorney. It's a one-stop shop here.
How did you get into the field?
Honestly, man, and everybody asks me this, and it's crazy because I wasn't really into sales too much, but my mother, she actually got me into it because I used to work in a juvenile correctional facility. And up here.
And handle those little niggas. I ain't mad at
you. Oh man, allegedly. And but I was out of work for a second. And one thing about, them kind of jobs where you have unlimited overtime, you get used to kind of the money you're making with the overtime pay. But when you're out of work, you're getting regular pay. It's almost as if you took a loss in your salary. So I had picked up a little side job, actually in Woodbury Commons, to compensate the difference of the money that I was missing from my overtime, and it was actually in sales. And I was I've always been good with people. So I told my mother, yo, listen, it's not a bad, sales isn't bad. She was like, if you went to sales, look and doing real estate. It's the highest sales job you can get is selling houses. So I stopped by the office that I work at now. I actually sat down with the manager, and I just wanted to inquire, yo, how does it work? So she slid me a commission check. Was if you sell one house, you can make this. And the check was nice. You know what I mean? So once I saw that, I'm I could do a couple of these. That'll compensate my salary now, and it'd be more of a freedom. You know what I mean? As far as being an independent contractor, I ain't got to answer to nobody. So I jumped on it, and honestly, I told myself in a year, if I'm not really successful the way that I want to be, I'm not even going to really mess with it or play with it too much longer. But it really took off for me. So from there, I've been blessed with everything else.
It says, what happens if someone buys a house, then all of a sudden they don't want it? Is there a grace period to get your money back?
Before you sign a contract. So you'll usually have about 2 weeks when you put an offer in, and then after you put your offer in, you do your home inspection. But once you do your home inspection and you sit down with your attorney, you sign that contract, then you locked in. But if you happen to say after you sign a contract you don't want that house, whatever down payment you put down, like $5,000-$10,000, the
You
seller's
lost
going
that.
to keep it. You lost it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because on the other end of it, if for a seller, once they sign a contract, they're basically promising that they're not going to sell the house to nobody else. You back out a month later, they lost a month time of marketing the house to other people.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's another question. Which platform do you think is more effective for when you are promoting your brand?
On a real estate side, they asking if I promote my real estate business.
Which platform do you think is more effective for you when promoting your brand? I guess for your real estate.
So like, I'm actually gonna say social media. You know what I mean? Like that's the best platform because social media is a place where you can like touch thousands of people all in one shot. You know what I mean? Like you half the people on your social media don't even got to be in your cell phone, but if you put good content out there, they can reach out to you and contact you from what they saw. So I personally think social media is and should be used for that. So I would say that's probably the best platform to really market your brand in social media. And word of mouth. You know what I mean? Like word of mouth is the biggest because, if you in real estate, if you have one person close on their house, they're happy with you, and they got brothers, sisters, cousins, whoever looking to buy or sell the house, they're gonna always refer you also. So always like treat every customer like it's your first because that can go a long way.
Talk to me about the book you wrote because you're also an author. Tell me about why did you write the book and what was the purpose and who were you trying to reach in writing the book?
So I wrote the book. I got the keys, step-by-step guide, first-time home buyers, and I actually wrote the book 2 years ago, but I re-released it and self-published it this past year. My man Ash Cash helped me with that, and he was just like, "Yo, put the book back out." So the reason I did that is because when I first got into real estate, I said I help people over 100 people buy houses. Like, so out of all those people I help buy a house, they all have the same questions, like, how does the process work? And you can't expect everybody to know it because they've never done it before. You know what I mean? Like, and buying a house is a big investment. It's like you're buying a pair of sneakers, what you can do like consistently. So they all had questions. So what I was touched myself was I'm getting these same questions and giving these same answers. I'm going to put it in a platform to where people could go out there and get the information beforehand, and I want to be able to provide it. So that's why I wrote the book because it's a step-by-step guide from like the first step, which is I tell you about it, is the biggest step, making a decision. Make a decision you want to buy a house, and once you make that decision and you lock into it, start taking necessary steps after that to make it happen. But it's really a step-by-step as far as making a decision, finding a good realtor, finding a good lender, what's good to look for when you house shopping, and how do you get a good attorney? That's most importantly as well, because people sometimes don't understand how good of an attorney you need to have when you're signing contracts and all that. That's no joke. You know what I mean? So I pretty much hit every aspect of what they need to do in order for them to buy to buy a home.
Where can we buy the book?
You can go to my website, which is www.lavangotthekeys.com, or you can go to Amazon.com and order from there as well.
Now, with the keys in the book, what are some of the okay, no, let me phrase it this way. In the clients that you had, are you getting? I don't want to make this a racial question, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, nah, go ahead. We don't talk, man.
Are there neighborhoods that you don't recommend to Black people because you know the type of neighborhood that it is?
Yes. I legally can't say it, but yes.
Okay.
And a lot of times when we go there, like I had a situation where I was helping these ladies buy a property, and we went through this particular neighborhood, and they called me while they was following me, was like, "Listen, I'm seeing a lot of this and that out here. We don't even need to be over here." And I knew it, but I can't tell people that, but you're going to see the signs as you're going through it,
So you mean to tell me if I'm a client of yours and me and my wife are walking around and we go to this neighborhood and we go through a couple stop signs, I'm like, yo, this looks like a predominantly white neighborhood. I don't think I'm be comfortable here. You can't be real with me and be like, you know what? It is a predominantly white neighborhood.
No, I can. But you got to initiate the conversation though. Like you can't call me like, listen, I want to go see town A, B, and C, and I can't be like, nah, I'm not bringing you there because it's not really comfortable for you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go back and be like, nah, I want to move it in, but he wouldn't show me because of these reasons, I can legally get in trouble for that.
Gotcha.
But if you initiate it and say, listen, I'm not really feeling too comfortable. Is it like this over here? I can basically say, yes, it is.
Gotcha. Now, have you ever dealt with like an extraordinary large amount of cash? Like someone told you they wanted this house and it was like, yo, here's the cash.
Yeah.
Really? That happens more than I'm thinking it does?
You know what happens? Because, man. All right.
Because
So
I'm thinking he's either a drug dealer or a dope boy or a trap nigga. Like,
yeah.
I need
So
this house.
it happens.
Here's a duffel bag.
It happens a lot with investors.
Mm.
So pretty much what I just tell them, I kind of guide them on what to do with their money properly so that they can go through the process without really having any issues. You know what I mean? But a lot of investors be like, listen, I don't have no income. I don't have no credit, but I got money. So it's just pretty much me guiding them and being like, listen, this is what you want to do. Or I'll put them on the phone with a mortgage lender and they'll tell them what to do with it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like it's not out of the norm nowadays for it to happen. So
Yo, that's crazy. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Zillow just came up on my thing and said a new house for sale, 3-bedroom, blah, 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 blah. That's wild. My fucking iPad is listening to us. This is wild.
Wait,
wild.
say it again?
As we're talking about homes and selling a lot, a Zillow thing just came on my thing talking about, listen, the home in this town for this much and da da da. It's fucking nuts.
Oh, that's crazy.
Anyways, I got my guy pop in the building. It says, what's your opinion on hard money loans? First off, what is a hard money loan? Because I don't know what that is. And then
so hard money loan, I deal with that a lot. A lot of my investors. Jazz, can you get me the charger, please? Hard money loans, I think it's upstairs in the office. Hard money loans is pretty much where like you don't have all the money to buy a property. So say you're an investor, right? And they're selling a house for $100,000, right? You can fix it and you can flip it. So listen, I don't have $100,000. I want to go get a hard money loan. What the bank does or lender does is they'll go out and find somebody pretty much who has cash and wants to be a private investor. So say they go to another person and say, listen, I got somebody who needs $100,000. That person will say, okay, I'll loan them $100,000. They're going to pay me, 10, 12% interest every month. And then they got to get my money back to me within a year. So that investor goes out there, agrees to the terms. The investor borrows $100,000. They go buy the property, fix it. They may sell it for $200,000, right? After they sell it, they go to the closing table. The person that gave them $100,000, they cut them a check back for their money,
and they keep the rest. Gotcha.
And so it's solid. It's a good move. The worst thing about hard money loans is that you're gonna pay that high monthly interest rate. You know what I mean? So you got to really understand that
it's like a credit card.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But that interest is about it depending on what they might charge you, like 10 to 15% interest on a month-to-month basis. So you got to understand that you're not going to really be profiting what you want, but you can still get some money and get in the game.
Gotcha. Now, what about Bitcoin? Are you into Bitcoin? Can you tell me about Bitcoin? Can you explain
honestly,
Bitcoin to me?
That's not really nothing I mess with, man. You know what's crazy is like hold on one second, let me just charge my joint. You know what's crazy is like somebody else asked me like, yo, Pop, you don't mess with the stock. I'm I got money in stock, but I've learned, like, me personally, if I don't know something, I want to surround myself with somebody who does and let them guide me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like my man and them, they good with stocks. I'm good with real estate. So we sit down and like, listen, I want to learn about buying some rentals. That's my field. But then I might, pick their brains. Listen, I want to learn about some stocks. That's what they do. So I might get random calls like, listen, for instance, GameStop is jumping. Get into it now. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, cool. Brought some GameStop. Next thing you know, I get a call 2 days later. Yo, get out now. I'm like, what? It's going crazy. Listen, get out now. So it's like I follow their lead because that's their expertise and vice versa when it comes to the real estate.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I appreciate that, Pop. That's a real answer.
Yeah, man, because I just want to, the thing about, not to cut you off, but I think it needs to be said, man, is like I've experienced people sometimes like they get too comfortable speaking on things that they're not really, 100% educated on, and they start giving out wrong information. You know what I mean? And then when you got people following you and like really like, feeding them what you're saying, you gotta be sure and be confident about what you're speaking about. Because then all of a sudden you start getting a downfall of people losing money, time, and energy because they followed your lead. Like that's not healthy, man.
Have you ever had a disgruntled client?
Oh, of course.
What was this?
Yeah, that's funny. Because as a real estate agent, I'm gonna tell you one thing, and that's a great question, man. Even though I'm successful in what I do, very successful, everybody don't mix with everybody. So like, it might be times where you think you're giving your client the best, but they want more. They want to be number one. You might have 10 clients that you want to make sure all clients close on the property, but it's always that one client who feels like as if like he needs more of your time and your energy. Like, listen, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna get you to the closing table, but I gotta worry about these 9 other clients. Plus, you know what I mean? I got a personal life. I got a client one time. He really called me, and I was at I think my daughter's graduation. So I texted him, like, listen, just shoot me a text. Or I'm gonna call you back for my daughter's graduation. He was like, I guess my money's not good enough for you. So I responded like, nothing's gonna be better than my daughter's graduation.
Yeah, keep your
you know what I'm
fucking
saying?
money.
Yeah. So
keep your money.
He said something else. I forgot. And then I just told him, I said, listen, you know what? Go back on Zillow and find another realtor. And that's what it is. But you can't. One thing about real estate, man, is you got to be able to understand that you want to service people, but you can't lose your mind and lose your own happiness and lifestyle trying to please everybody else.
I tell my wife is an entrepreneur, and I tell her that all the time. Don't lose your head on these cornballs. Don't tell them keep their money. You good?
Right. Yeah, you're gonna find it, man. That good karma always gonna come back around.
Exactly. Here's another question: how long does it take on average for a client to find the house they want?
That's a hard answer. Because I've had people walk into the first house they saw, loved it, put an offer, and they buy it. I've had people look at 20 houses, So it's really about the client, like, how motivated. Like when they had the coronavirus not first hit, but like when they first opened real estate back up from the coronavirus last May, you found everybody just grabbing up houses. Listen, I like it. This is it, because they were so motivated to leave like New York City because the city being so crowded and everything. That's when a lot of people was getting COVID, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So people was really just like kind of rushing the situation. Like, listen, I just want to get out of the city and get up here. So it all depends on the situation.
Now, in Texas, with the whole snowstorm that's ruining people's houses. I remember watching a lot of videos of construction workers because I used to be in like the handyman field. Their houses were built with pretty much cardboard and wood. As a homeowner in Texas, there's no insurance that's going to save them from snow insurance. How does someone who lost everything recover anything in a situation like that that's going on in Texas right now?
Yo, what's crazy is that they really hit the save. They really can't.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of time people just say like try to get insurance, depending on where you live, but get insurance on as much personal items as you can. But as far as the structure and foundation itself, like your best bet is to kind of hope that there's something in your insurance clause that basically is going to allow you to get some kind of financial money back from it, and then from there, like use that to recover yourself and find something else. Now, you said like not even with flood insurance. Now, flood insurance is good to have. Flood insurance, it does happen, but there's always like the small fine print. You got to always read like, okay, well, is it a natural disaster type thing, or when the last time you changed your roof, and you know what I mean? Because if it's like, listen, I ain't changed my roof in 20 years, and now I got water coming in the roof because of this bad storm we got, they might be like, well, listen, it may be because you didn't have a good roof. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's you can get something. They're not gonna leave nobody stranded. It's all about what you're gonna get.
Damn.
Yeah, they can use FEMA too. I see that comes. They can use FEMA too, but in the grace of God, like I've never really had nobody that had to deal with it like that crazy. But I do know, like from what I've heard, because I got my man's a realtor in Florida, and they get like a lot of obviously like storms and stuff like that. But it's really about people thinking like, nah, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna get all this money back, and it's just like, well, you should have did this and you should have did that. They start finding ways not to pay you as much as you really deserve.
What's the wildest story you have selling or buying a house with a client? Any wild stories? Like this dude was here, he bought a house for his ex or some shit. Like, why am I?
Huh?
You never had a story like this guy's buying a house for his whole ex-girlfriend and has another house for his wife somewhere else? You don't have any stories like juicy joints?
It's funny you say that. I showed a house to somebody, and I'm gonna tell you, females can be grimy. I showed a house to someone, and he came with his fiance, right? Looking at a house, cool, and they didn't move forward with that property. About a month later, I showed out to somebody else. He came with his girlfriend, same girl. I'm like, So when I pulled up and I walked up to the door and they came out the car. She just had this real, oh shit look on her face. But I'm not spilling nobody's beans. I'm not there for that. But I gave it the kind of look like this is, you know what I mean? Like, so, and I haven't seen him since. Like, she must have convinced him, like, listen, he's not a good realtor. We don't want to work with that guy. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't feeling his vibe. But yeah, that happened like my first year, and I was just still trying to get my name up. So I was like trying to close the deal, but the energy was just off the whole time showing the house.
Any tips for any young entrepreneurs or real estate agents that are trying to break into the game?
Invest early, man. Like, invest early. And like, invest in real estate. Like, listen, if I could have did this in my early 20s, oh my God, invest in real estate, man. Like, learn the business, learn to work for yourself, because honestly, like, real estate has given me so much freedom in my life to be able to choose how I want to move, and when I want to lock in and put 100% hustle into my business, when I want to relax, catch a peace of mind, and go on a vacation without having to ask nobody. You know what I mean? So invest your money properly, put it in real estate, because at the end of the day, like, real estate is always going to be a demand. Like, even
they can't make no more of this land.
Yo, they can't, bro. And like, even with COVID, like, people like, oh, the market's gonna die and yada yada yada. And the market did get crazy, but people gonna still need a place to live. You know what I mean? People gonna still need a place to live, man. So, invest in real estate. Now, if you want to be a real estate agent, I advise everybody to get the real estate license, because it's easy money. Even if you got a full-time job, like, and you go show houses on the weekend, if you close on one house a month, depending on the price point, that could be another like $2,000-$3,000 in your pocket. You know what I mean? So it's just additional money that you can have off of doing something so simple. You know what I mean? And the good thing about real estate or being a realtor, the easy part about it sometimes is half the people know what they want already anyway.
Yep.
So they may go online and look at Zillow and see the pictures. They know if they're gonna love that house when they go inside majority of the time. You gotta go in there and just pretty much close the deal. So it's not really like a hard, profession to be in, but also too, it's something where if you can do it and just make some side money, if you don't want to go full time, that's a good option as well.
Well, it just gave me an idea, sir.
Yeah, man.
Gave me an idea.
Yeah, especially a person like yourself, when you come across, some pretty comfortable and successful people on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you might wanna.
You might put me on the path to something. Here's another question: Is the springtime the best time to buy? Is there a best time to buy?
So I'm gonna tell you why it is and why it isn't. That's a great question, Jasmine. That's my daughter's name too, by the way. It is because you find more houses going on the market. Like, people want to put the house up in the market in the springtime because people want to move. Everybody wants to move into a new home if they have to either sell a house first or they buy a new home before school starts in September. You know what I mean? Or August, depending on where they're at. So the springtime, March, April, they want to put the house for sale so they can be out by like June and situated somewhere else by July, August. So it's a good time. It is good because you find a lot more homes in the market to buy from. It's tough because the problem is it's competitive with a lot of other buyers looking at the same time. Mm-hmm. So it's like you might find a house you love, but then again, so do 3 other people. You all putting bids on the same house. Then it becomes a bidding war.
Bidding war, yeah.
So if you're a buyer, right, the best time to look is anytime. The least that you find competition with other buyers looking is during like the late fall, early winter, because nobody really shops for houses during the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you're not gonna find as many houses on the market that time neither, though. So it's a catch-22.
Is it a buyer's market or seller's market right now?
Right now, it's a seller's market like crazy, brother. I'm gonna give you something crazy, right? I'm gonna tell you, and I didn't really like, you know what I mean, explain to nobody else, but I'm gonna tell you. So I fix and flip homes, right? And I had a property that I finished up November of 2019. I put it on the market. I got a buyer in like December 2019. I had multiple offers. So I took a buyer and I acquired the property for 160 and we put about 40 something into it, 50 something into it. And I had a buyer for 260. I'm like, all right, it was good. So then COVID hit. February, everything kind of got shut down. Like banks weren't working. Like it was crazy. So then around May or June, we were supposed to close on the property after everything's gonna open back up a little bit slowly but surely. And I had to issue one of the permits. I didn't have a permit for my basement. Long story short, we went through all that. Supposed to close in August. I'm flying down to New Orleans, bring my oldest daughter to college, and my phone was going crazy when I landed. Like my attorney's like, call me. So I call her. She's like, yo, the buyers are acting funny. So I already knew because of Corona, the market went through the roof. So I'm like, yo, listen, just cancel the deal. I was at 260. I'm like, what I'm gonna do is cancel the deal. I'm gonna put it back in the market for 295. And I sold it for 300,000. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. How like easy the market could turn. The market previous to COVID was on the buyer side. Now it was getting 260. Once COVID hit, and I told you everybody from the city was leaving New York City and flooding upstate to get out of that congestion, get off them trains and all that. The market up here went skyrocketed. So I profited 40K in 2 months just off of the market being different and me finding a new buyer. That's why I say invest in real estate, man. Like you can't go wrong. Like I got stories for days when it comes to that investing side.
We might have to get another episode with these stories. But here's another question: if you get a real estate license, can you work for yourself or do you have to work for a firm? That's a good question.
Good question. So if you get a real estate license, you have to work for a firm. If you get what they call a real estate broker license, you can become your own brokerage and work for yourself. But you can only get a broker license, I believe, 2 years after being a real estate agent. So you got to be under somebody else first and then become a broker. Like my man just became a broker. And I was happy for him, man. Amar Holmes. And like, he's up in Poughkeepsie. He does Dutchess County. And he's a broker now. He works for himself. You can hire agents on you, stuff like that. So you got to be a broker first for that.
Are you on Clubhouse? Oh God, here we go.
Nah, it's crazy. I'm not because I'm Android, man. I don't got an iPhone yet.
Oh man.
And they only doing it for iPhones, man. I heard my partner was like, "You need to get on here." I'm like, I know, but honestly, like I'm not really into social media like that. To be honest, I don't know. Like I do it for my business and marketing, but I try to log in, post my joint, answer some questions, and get up off there, man. And just kind of lock in. I'd rather watch podcasts and read some books.
Gotcha. What was the last book you read?
Man, that's a good. I just started actually Obama's book, and I don't even have it down here, but man, it was like learning like the ups and downs of communication or something like that. It basically was good because I actually got referred it to me was I was watching Earn Your Leisure, and Rashad referred the book, and I read it. It was good because it teaches you how to like communicate effectively with people. Like it'll change your approach, man. Like
it's a big thing out here, communication. It's a big thing.
Yeah. It was good, man. Like it made me think about how how you can like positively criticize people, if that makes any sense. And it's like ways that people will appreciate how you basically barking on them. You know what I mean? But it made sense, man. It was a good book.
I get it. Anything else we need to go through? Am I missing anything? We talked about the blog. We talked about the real estate. What else is in the life of Pop that I missed out on?
Man, so like, I released actually another book. It's called Entrepreneur Overdraft Fees, the ins and outs of the essential hustling. And what that was, so I own a couple of other businesses outside of real estate. And, being an entrepreneur, like you said, your wife is, so it takes a lot. It takes a lot, man. It takes a lot. And I want to put a platform out there to kind of give people like, the realistic, things we go through as being entrepreneurs, but then also too, once you get to the place that you want to get, your final destination of success, it's also worth it. So I released that book. It's actually out now also on my website at www.lavangatthekeys.com or on Amazon. Just a dad, man, trying to just raise these girls the right way so that when they get older, they don't need, what I mean, too much.
Amen to that, brother. I got a
Yeah,
big
man.
girl and some stepdaughters. I say the same thing. I'm doing this so they don't need no man.
Yeah, man. Especially nowadays, as the year it gets older and the world turns, man, we start seeing a lot of independent females out there being successful, which is a amazing thing to see. So there's a lot of young, entrepreneurs that my daughters can look up to as well as yours. So I'm trying to just make sure I do my part.
Likewise. Thank you, brother, for coming. I appreciate you for sitting down and talking.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate you very much from my heart.
Let them know how to follow you, how to buy some of the stuff that you're selling with the books and all that. And if they need a real estate broker, who do they go to and how do they get in contact with you?
Instagram, POPHLV_real estate. Facebook / Michael LaVan the Realtor. LinkedIn, Michael LaVan, LA, V as in Victor, AN. YouTube, Michael LaVan the Realtor. Got some videos up there. It's pretty good content about my previous fix and flips and other real estate ventures I've done. Website, www.lavangotthekeys.com. You can find all my merchandise, books on there. And sometimes I just conversate with the people that follow me on there as well. It's good content. Any questions, just reach out. I'm love to build new people and help people buy homes.
Mr. LaVan, what do you look for when you have your license and it's time to select a broker?
Good question. You got to be upfront. So when you get your license, that's a great question. When you get your license, what's going to happen is a lot of these brokers, they'll find out about you. And what they'll do is they'll actually reach out to you like, hey, I saw you took your test and now your license, come work for my office. So you'll find yourself interviewing them. And what you want to ask them is, listen, what are your fees? Because all offices have fees. They have lockbox fees, signs fees, like they call it a desk fee, where you might even have a desk in the office. They still charging you a desk fee. If you print paper, you got to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. If you go there and you got open houses and you need balloons, you got to pay for it. So you want to find out listen, what are your fees? And then also, too, what's the commission split looking like? That's a big question, because if you might get a check for $5,000, but if the broker's taking 50% of that and they do nothing for you, you giving them pretty much money for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So ask all those questions when you go and then figure out what's the best fit for you. Also, another question is like, how many realtors do you have in your office? Because sometimes those bigger offices, people want to gravitate to with more competition. If you're in a big office with 60, 70 agents and somebody walks in there and listen, I need a realtor, who are they going to choose?
Yeah, whose name is that person that's going to give their card to?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But if you got an office where it's like, maybe less than 10 people and nobody's in there, you in there working, somebody walks in there, the manager might be like, yeah, listen, Mike is right here working right now, so he'll take care of you. So, ask all those questions and then, figure out what's the best fit for you.
I enjoyed this, man.
I appreciate you, man.
This is very informational. I'm going to use some of these things, and I'm going to reach back out to you on the side, and we're going to talk again.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you again. Make sure you follow my guy Mike, my guy Pop, be a part of him, of everything he's doing. If you need a realtor, if you need a broker, go see my guy. He's doing it up in Westchester County, you said?
I'm in Orange. I call Westchester too, but I do mainly Orange County.
Got you. Again, thank you, Pop. I appreciate it. Have a good night, my brother.
Me too, bud. Peace.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I learned some things tonight. I think I might take the test. I'm gonna be a realtor on my side. If I sell one home, or my wife sells one home, we'll be all right. But I appreciate my guy Pop from coming through and dropping some knowledge on us. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Hope you who took something from it. This interview will be up soon. Like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. I think I can announce it now. Next month we're going to be expanding from just Thursdays to Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you're part of the family, we're going to expand it to Tuesdays and Thursdays starting in March. The interviews have gotten better. Shout out to the team in the background. Shout out to Melinda. I love you. Shout out to Jasmine. I love you too. So yeah, we're going to have a good time coming up in the next couple of months. So more content will be coming out, more great interviews. Thank you, Armilo. Thank you, Gary. Yeah. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for enjoying it. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see y'all next week. And I believe it is somebody, I don't want to say the name of the show, but if you know the show and you know Chevelle, she'll be on next week's show. Chevelle will be on next week's show. I'm not going to tell, I'm not going to lie. I don't know the name of it exactly, if it's Life After Love or Love After whatever, but she'll be on here next week. It should be an amazing show. I've been watching the episodes to catch up on what she's been doing, and we're going to have fun. Me and Homegirl are going to have fun. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us for the sit down. Next week, we will be back. Chevelle is our guest. Like, subscribe, share, and all that. And I love y'all. Be safe out here. Love one another. Peace and love.
What's up? I'm EmEz, and while I'm based